Hello, manifest V or see, I could have asked you this right away. Is it manifest V or manifest 5?
Manifestiv. A lot
Ma-
of people think because E is capital, it's a Roman numeral. And
ah,
I read afterwards, and our very first show in California was on the Sunset Strip in Hollywood at the Viper Room. And the marquee said manifest space V. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, might as well just let it go now. Let people spell it however they want to. It is actually manifestiv, all one word, just a capital M, capital V, side caps. I don't know how you're viewing this at wherever, but yeah.
manifestive.
like,
Manifestive.
like bands like Manifested, exactly. Because it's, we're kind of celebrating everybody's right to manifest their own reality. And we want to make that common knowledge and not such a buried truth that gets discovered years later in life for people to be like, oh, wait, I could have written my own script this whole time and I didn't have to listen to all these prescribed paths for me due to family or social class or structure, or I could really write my own destiny. What? So we're trying to make that common knowledge. The side caps come from but being just you know being raised on metal like Metallica and Pantera, and the two side letters are big and crazy, made it look like a Star Wars titles, just really dramatic. So that's where that came from. Long
Yeah,
answer.
we will talk about traumatic later on because when we discuss your shows because there's some traumatic things involved there. So you play the guitar and you sing, right?
Yes, sir.
Good. Guilty as charged, I guess.
I, I, I do guitar and I do singing. I sing.
Uh, and just yeah, we should have ladies first usually, but we
Or
started we started with you. No, just when we can wrap it
probably
up right away. What is your musical background? Because I mean, not trying to flatter you too much, but you play the guitar quite well. So did you learn it somewhere, or did you was it all started in punk bands like the usual kind of things evolvement to the level you got now?
I avoided I avoided guitar forever because I really grew up on synthesizers big time. Um, when I was 5 years old, I remember the day clearly. My mom sat me down at a piano and taught me the C major scale. And right 5 minutes into the lesson, after I got a hang of the scale, she had to go to the kitchen for some tea. And then my dad pops out of his dungeon studio. He's like, come here, boy, let me show you what music's really about. And there's a 48 track console and MIDI synthesizers and an Apple computer, which in 1980, whenever that was a brand new thing. And I was like, mesmerized. Wait, you could build an entire song just using a keyboard. So I remember the first vinyl record I ever held was like Tears for Fears, and then I later got into Depeche Mode, and then industrial music, Ministry, Skinny Puppy, the Nine Inch Nails, now my favorite band from America, Rammstein's favorite from the entire planet, but that's a different story.
I
Um,
can roll the R for you if you
yes,
want.
way better than I could ever hope to, surely. Um, to answer your question, my bassist, uh, our lovely Kevin Porter with the Spike Hawks. He's in a different city. He nor the drummer could be here today. He is why I picked up guitar because I met him early in high school, and I'd been making songs with synthesizers upon synthesizers, just stacking things, and I wanted it to be angrier. And he knew every Metallica song, it seemed, and made electric guitar look not only appealing but like fun and not as cocky as I thought that it was. That's why I avoided it forever, because everybody who played guitar, I thought it was like just an egotistical solo. It's like, oh, look at me. And I'm like, I don't want to be looked at. I want to be making music and just making feelings, and don't look at me, just hear the music. So, yeah, he inspired me to start playing guitar, and that was a quarter century ago, or plus or minus.
Okay, yeah, and you do it quite well. So I guess you have a natural inclination, or how you call this. You have talent, you could say. So, but now uh, going to your what's your left side. Um,
Yes,
hello.
my
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, so sorry. Whenever I talk, I cut out his audio, so I couldn't really hear what he said. But I thought he said like, "So go on." And hello, can you please introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Eve. I play vibraphone in Manifestiv. I also sing. My focus in the band is more visual. So a lot of the concept for the wardrobe came from me, and a lot of the video concepts came from
basically anything you see comes from her mind in manifestiv. Anything you hear starts from mine, and we collaborate together. But yeah, she's the eyes of the group. Absolutely.
Okay, yeah, and I saw you also a visual artist. Anyway, you paint and you do things like this, right?
Yes. And
Okay.
yeah, I also did a small comic book that accompanied the album God is a Martian.
Oh, okay. I haven't found that. You know, like we talked in the pre-talk. I tried to find out a little bit, but not too much. So I have to check it out. What's gods and what aliens and gods? No,
God is a Martian.
God is a Martian.
Yes.
It was a EP we released in 2018, and as part of the pre-release, we did our first comic publishing then, which was just a comic story introducing the notion of upon death, somebody entering space and seeing that afterlife is nothing like what they thought, and who knows, how we all got to be on this planet and when we'll end up on another planet. And it raises questions as to, origins and destinations. And yeah, she did a visual comic for that when that came out in 2018. She also did the directed and did the animation for our video for Just Wait. So
Yeah, I was wondering about this because I have to admit, okay, spoiler alert, we kind of met on a virtual tour. We were both invited to open for Fleischkrieg, a band from LA. And this is how I found you, because you were also one of my project was an opening act, and you were an opening act, and or there was a video in the intermissions we put in, right? And
Yeah.
this was Just You Wait, from Manifest, and I honestly, so you did the animation.
It was a team of 3 people. And so I came up with the concept, the storyboard, and the characters. And then we had a guy from Kazakhstan actually take the digital drawings that my friend Jeanette, because I started off basically illustrating everything in watercolor, giving her the watercolor, and then she would turn the characters into a vector file. And then she would send the vector files over to MHR Cartoon, which is a studio in Kazakhstan, and they actually took the vectors and did all the backgrounds and animated it. So it was a 3-stage process. It took about 8 months to complete.
Also,
Wow.
Yeah, and we crowdfunded it too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow,
So
wow. Я не понимаю. I can speak a little bit Russian. Not Kazakhstan, but Russian. It's not too bad. Not too bad. Очень
They got
хорошо.
Russian Film Festival, actually, the music video did.
Yes.
I really have to admit, knowing this now, because what I thought, what I was seeing, was that somebody just took some uh, random Disney footage and cut it into a video. Honestly, I'm not trying to flatter you, or to brown nose, but I was like, this looks really like this is a movie, and they just cut out random scenes, from it, and I have to admit, it was looking so good, where I was like, so I don't care about it, because it's just, I mean, the visuals, because I think you just stole it, or let's say borrowed it from a different movie. So I was just listening to the music. I was deliberately avoiding the visuals, because I thought, they just stole it. It's kind of a what's what a band, who doesn't have much funds does, just taking some random snippets and put it together.
Oh
So
wow.
We'll
honestly,
take that.
I'm blown away now. I have to revisit it, because now I'm.
Yeah.
Uh, you see how,
Yeah.
how ignorant I am, or how good you are. I don't know how to say it. You can see it from both ways.
Right. Right. No, that is a huge compliment, but it is 100% original, and
Yes.
I believe the broadcast's timing is off. So definitely watch it on. Don't want to call out the technical team there. It's okay. It's streaming an international virtual concert is a new feat. So it's not easy. But no, visit our YouTube page and give it a rewatch with that in mind. That's a huge compliment, because yes, most bands do some splicing, and we do splicing of like existing things for our live shows as well. We have a song called Arrival
Mhm.
that just always made me think of UFOs, for instance. So for the imagery of our live show, we have a lot of spaceship imagery from the Independence Day movie, but the sequel called Resurgence, which was really good, but like really underground and overlooked and dismissed. So we were like, oh, okay, we'll just kind of use the stock from that. So that is totally the type of thing that a lot of bands, ourselves included, do. But no, that was fully original. The team of three, the dream team, and 20, 40, 60. How many supporters did we have? Quite a few.
We had 40.
Okay, yeah, quite a few people who helped us crowdfund it
Yeah.
during and through the beginning of the pandemic. We actually finished it. We were 2/3 of the way through it when the pandemic began.
Also the fire in Australia.
Yes, we were.
The creepy thing was, it was supposed to be almost an homage to the fires in California, because we had lived in California, lost our house due to a natural event. It wasn't a fire, it was an earthquake in this case, but still, an event completely out of our control. So when the fires hit in California, I felt a kinship still, not only to the people in my area who lost their farms and things, but basically to anybody who loses their home in a natural event. And so while we were animating the music video, we were wanting to also push out the message of how bad things can get if climate change was to get out of control. And as we were finishing up the last few scenes of the video, that was when the big fire took place.
We were seeing pictures of the fire, and like, is that a still from the video? No, that's real life. That's news today. So it was a bit scary.
Yeah, so that was weird. That was happening at the same time.
Wow. Well, this is how no, not what's it, Cassiopeia, or no, the one who foresees things. It's something with C, but anyway. Wow, I'm just blown away a little bit that the video is so good, and I'm kind of like in a way I'm so ignorant. I feel a bit stupid now, but not really. I mean, it kind of like I said, take it as a compliment, because I thought, yeah, this is so good. This cannot be from a band I never heard of. Let's put it this way, because this was the first time I've seen you, and I was like, oh, the music is cool. The video I don't care about because it's stubble together. What you know and. Wow. Okay. I'm pleasantly surprised and reminded of my ignorance. So that's good to know that I'm stupid.
Well, we're all learning, aren't we?
Well, it's actually good that you brought that up because there may have been other viewers who had seen the video and thought the same thing. So I'm glad this kind of clarifies this for them as well.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think the only thing what you can say, what I could criticize here is maybe, I think the guys here from Fleischkrieg or whoever put in the video, they just put a small title here in it, on the side. And what you could have done is. Making a big title in the beginning. I don't know. This is manifest and this is the studio or something. Because I didn't saw that. It just started and there was this little and like I said, and it was so good. I ignored it. I just listened to the music, and. Yeah, and then there could be end credits like made by and thank you to.
Right. They didn't tell us they were going to put that in there, and we kind of have the habit of not putting the credits on our just YouTube videos because we really want them to kind of stand alone as works and not look like something that's branded or pushed in the whoever is liking it. They want it. We like that feeling of discovery of like something grand, like, oh wow, how this is a band I haven't heard of before. This is like too great to have not heard of. We want that feeling to spread.
Mhm.
But
I get it. See, this is a topic we could talk about because I completely understand you here, because this is like what almost every artist. I'm talking more to serious artists. I'm not talking to pop stars who are like in it for something else. Let's put it this way. But like every artist usually says, I want the music to speak for itself, and this is. I mean, here in this case, the visuals also tell a story. Now, I remember the deers and the fires and the cars going by and stuff. So it was kind of, I thought, yeah, this is a movie I have not seen, and so I just let it go. No, what I wanted to say is every artist wants it, but and I completely understand it. But on the other hand, we are living in the time we're living right now, and everyone has a megaphone in his hand and has a social media outlet on something. So what I'm saying is, or what I want to lead to is, on the other hand, you kind of have to shout out a little bit by yourself as well, and let people find you. In a way, you make it a little bit harder for you to find. And also, I went over your. Please take it as a I mean an honest and hopefully worthwhile criticism. I went over your homepage, and there's so much to learn about you, and that's cool. It makes it kind of mystic or a little mysterious. That's the word I was looking
yeah,
for. A little
yes.
bit, shrouded in darkness. So.
Is that new mystique, because you're right, everything is I'm here, I'm
Mhm.
social media, part of the
Look
8
at me! Look
billion.
at me! Look at me! Make a duck
Yeah,
face.
we get here to find it.
Right.
I'm gonna get a drink, would you like one?
Yeah, but yeah, I have some tea. Thank you.
Bro, you're welcome.
It's actually from my. See, nobody will see that. I was living once in Washington D.C. and I worked for a congressman there. I worked for the Congressman Owen B. Pickett, and I still have a United States Congress. It's hard to see. It's old. It's you cannot really see it. United States
Oh, I
Congress.
see it.
Okay, yeah, now.
Oh, wow.
Um, yeah, I got it as a gift, and it's still, I moved so much, and I'm surprised that it's still still around, basically, but it's still here, and I like it. Yeah, it was. Oh man, I'm old. It's almost 20 years ago that I was there.
Oh, I
So,
wish I could have lived for that long. Oh wait, no, I do have one from my grandmother that I've held on to for longer. I need to go get it. Thank
Anyway, so yeah, thank you for showing me how. Nah, I don't think I was really ignorant. You were just too good. Let's put it this way. Your video was just too good, and yeah, now we are at the branding phase, and it's a little bit funny for me. It's maybe I come with my outside perception because you are a very visual band, and you know, you are very artistically articulate with your music and your artwork. Yeah, but then again, you are not you are not easy to find. I don't know how to put it. You are very expressionistic, or how you say it. You know, I saw one of a live videos you did, and you know, uh, um, sorry, I have to ask. Your name is Taylor, right?
Paragraph
Paragraph
Taylor.
Taylor. Okay,
Oh,
okay,
I'm slowly realizing that the paragraph sign doesn't automatically register to very many as the word paragraph. So a lot of people are like, oh, is that an error of a word processor or like showing all characters or something? But no, I go by paragraph Taylor, and
okay.
Taylor is like a name or surname, dead name, depending on who you ask. And yeah, and it's just because it takes me a paragraph to say what most people say in a sentence.
I see. Yeah, I'm quite a talker as well, so I know this issue. Anyway, my point. Oh, what do I wanted to say? I wanted to say the live video I saw. You know, Paragraph Taylor was jumping around and really, you know, uh, basically doing what a rock star should do. You know, kind of engage with the audience and rah, and you know, showing what's going on. Huh? What? Sorry, you want to say something?
Move, yeah, no, moving. People that are like, that's the point. That's the difference of a musician and like somebody who's like a rocker who gets out there just like putting on a show. They're really moving. Of course, on the other side, I either listen to deep electronic music or crazily intricate, like gent, like, you know, the pioneers of it, if you will, the sugar, and watching them live, they don't move a muscle because they're playing basic like calculus, you know.
Well,
so
yeah, their technical difficulty is such that they can't move.
yeah,
So you see like Meshuggah, you know,
Mm-hmm.
as they're playing.
yeah, we take influence from that complexity, but I also really try to not dumb it, but distill the parts down just so I can show people how the music at least makes me feel, and give them permission to let it make them feel that way too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, I know, I know. I have. I was thinking what it reminded me. It has like a toolish feel, you know, like Tool. It's also very technical and deep and kind of more. I don't know, brainy. I don't know how to put it. It's not your simple rock music. You know, I like also simple rock music, you know, like gothic rock or something where people get out
Yeah.
on stage and just, you know, stand there with, I don't know, and just, you know, doing the rock star pose and, you know, going like this and
Like Sisters of Mercy, same type
oh,
of thing.
Sisters of Mercy. I love Sisters of Mercy. It's, I just made a cover of Sisters of Temple of Love. So you need to hear it. It's, you found it already? No. Oh,
Not yet. No. But
you
every
will
time I
find it.
yeah.
I will brand it. Sorry, I was interrupting you. Yeah, Sisters of Mercy, I really love. Uh, I think I will never get him on the show, but I had a pre-conversation with one of the guitar guys. So yeah, because a friend of mine from the UK, he knows him, so he kind of made a contact. But he's difficult to get to. Let's put it this way. My show is too simple for him, and Yeah, let's see. But I was like, Sisters of Mercy. Anyway, I love him. You know, I'm a little bit older. I'm not asking for any ages here. You know, so don't worry. But yeah, I grew up with them, so it was like, this is you know, it's hard. I tried to explain it to a friend. It's hard for me to objectively listen to Sisters of Mercy because there is so, you know, when you grow up, I guess you have the same, like maybe with Nine Inch Nails or Skinny Puppy or whatever you grow up with, but it's kind of like you can dissect it musically and you know, it's this and this chorus and blah 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 and you know how it's done, but there's so much between the notes that is there, you know, all the feelings, all the, you know, as you grow up and so yeah, for me it's I love it. Sorry, I'm swooning a little bit.
That's okay. It's okay. No, I mean every time, like I said, when I first heard them, they made me shudder a bit because they were so like dictionary goth, like
Hmm.
like my God, you can't be any more goth than that. And then as I became such, being like a mortician and having everything in black possible, and I'm like, okay, now every time I hear Sisters of Mercy, I have to drop what I'm doing and sing and dance with whatever. Try to sing with their range. I just take an octave. Which one can I go with? They got the super low, super high at the same time. So either way, yeah.
Either way, uh, one thing we already got into something else, but vibraphone. I just wanted to. I mean, you never might have heard the question. So it's not the most likeliest instrument somebody picks up. So how come you picked up the vibraphone, Eve?
It was actually assigned to me in marching band in high school. I
I,
didn't
I,
want to
I
play.
almost thought this might be the answer. Okay.
Usually. Well, it's actually more ironic than that because when I joined marching band, I wanted to play the snare drum. I wanted to march, but for some reason, the band director felt that I was better in the pit section. So I ended up playing on the xylophone, which I grew to love because I ended up playing really fast, really accurate, fast. That was just my playing style. So I would play songs like Flight of the Bumblebee with accuracy on xylophone.
Okay.
And right, yeah. The song is just shredding. The
Thank
whole
you,
song is.
thank you, Paragraph Taylor. I almost forgot how it sounded.
So did I. Very welcome.
So because that was my playing style, I hated the vibraphone because
Mhm.
the vibraphone, the way most people would play it is mostly with like jazz, a lot of sustain, a lot of
Hmm.
it's not the same type of playing style. You really can't do that on a vibraphone because the way that the keys are, you'll actually have a lot of notes bleeding over.
Hmm. And it's mostly
So
more wood, right? I saw your vibraphone is maybe self-made, so it's a little bit different. But most of them I remember are wood based and
yeah,
kind of more. They have more sustain anyway. You know, they last longer the notes, so you have to play them differently.
So
right.
Yeah.
this one, its only pedal, it doesn't have a sustain pedal like a
Hmm.
piano. Its only pedal is the effects unit down here.
Yeah, it's
So
it looks
when
like a
she's
guitar
playing,
effects play thing, right?
exactly. Yes,
Mm.
this is a GT8 guitar
Ah,
effects
I have a
processor.
GT10. I have a GT10. I love GT.
Nice.
Yeah.
Our bassist plays a GT1B, and I do a GT6 on vocals, and now I use a fractal for the guitar effects. But
Okay.
no, besides that fractal, we're pretty much a bass family. So what Eve usually has to do without that damper is like hit it twice, that second time to mute it.
Hmm.
So
Exactly, because it's the bleed over, right? So that's the issue here.
right.
Hmm.
Exactly. There's no sustain pedal, so she's got to manually do it. So she has developed her own playing style as a result.
Hmm. And how do you, well, as you are there right now, how do you get the do you have like how do you call this, how do you get the tone from there through the pedal, because there needs to be like in a guitar, I don't know how to say it in
Pickup
English.
system.
Yeah, the pickups exactly.
Each key has its own
Wow.
3.5 millimeter jack,
So you can show underneath.
and there's a piezo magnet that goes to it. See,
Okay.
like so. So you got 37 of those total with each key, and they all plug in to this collecting rail.
Wow. You need your own power
And the
plant to
entire
power this.
rail-
Huh?
The entire rail has these mini mixer cable that goes to a box here. This is the K&K box. So K&K Sound from Coos Bay, Oregon. They used to be in San Francisco, and then they moved. They're really great people. They designed this with Eve, and then inside this box where the mini mixer cable goes, it sends out an XLR signal straight to the pedal.
Okay. Yeah, I get it. No.
Then the pedal goes to Eve's 500 watt Fender Rumble bass amp, which is crazy because when we were experimenting with like how are we going to amplify this, we put it through a guitar amp and the tone was lost. But you put it through the bass amp, you hear dun, 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 every time she's hitting it, and it really like when it was just the two of us, I needed those like rhythmic cues to be able to keep up with. So, yeah, that is Silba is her name. See, she's even got eyeballs.
Cool.
So
It's a little bit odd that it has to be. I mean, I'm a bass player myself, so I have only bass amps, and I love bass amps, and I like even playing. As Queen of the Stone Age came out and played their guitars through bass amps, I was like, yeah, I mean, you should do this. That's cool. That's that's how it needs to be done. Who wants to we're not in glam rock or glam metal, and who wants to hear all these high notes and stuff? It's just, but it's a little bit what the vibraphone is through a bass amp. It's a little bit surprising to me, to see, because the notes are much higher, or the frequencies. I think.
No, but the
frequencies of coming out of the vibraphone are higher, and I didn't actually like. Everything that I've done to this vibraphone was to make it as not like a vibraphone as possible. So I wanted to get away from that tinny vibraphone sound. I wanted it to be more like a keyboard. I wanted it to be more synthy, more savory. And so that's why we put it through the bass. Oh yeah.
You know this? This is because I like. Anyway, this is what I'm experimenting now. This is kind of, I mean, it's like a drum, but it has also a lot of synth sounds and a lot of synth things. I'm not such a good player as you, of course, but
it's a Nord drum module.
A Nord drum, but it has lots of synths. You know it?
I love Nord. No, I've never seen that.
Okay. Check it out. It's kind of, it's a synth you play like a drum. I mean, you can play as like a drum, but it has synth sounds and lots of engines in it. What you can kind of do, and
that's awesome.
Yeah. Okay.
That is so cool. I remember being so pissed off whenever Nord just took away the leads and just started making the stages like the piano organ. I'm like, no, Nord, your best asset is your synth sounds. That's why Trent Reznor went straight for the Fragile. He used Nord leads all over that record. There's 26 songs on that record. And it's on my bucket list of physical keyboards to actually get right now. We're, mostly all MIDI controllers and musical typing.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, what I wanted to say is, what do I want to say? I forgot what I wanted to say, but yeah, I guess we are kind of nerds here. We like. I also have a theremin which you can play like a synthesizer, and there's one from Moog, Moog. You say Moog, and it's in my rehearsal space.
We had roommates that had that exact one.
I painted it black, of course. Let's paint it black because it's white. It's white usually. I was.
You found a black one?
I painted it black. I painted it.
Even better. That is super cool. We had roommates for a little while when we were still living in Vallejo, California, right after we started the band. They are actually now a word jazz duo. Like they literally just throw words like improv,
it's a spoken word,
like slam poetry,
slam
improv.
poetry, but they call it word jazz
Yeah.
because the cadence of their words is very rhythmic and musical, like jazz.
Yeah.
But when you listen to the lyrics, most of it is filled with puns, and they play on each other, and it's actually very cerebral and
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's hard to describe, but it's wonderful.
They were using that same Moog, the white one. They're called Airlift Underground for anybody who wants to go get their mind blown.
I'm gonna check them out. Airlift Underground.
Airlift Underground.
Yeah.
Yeah, their slogan is "No mind left unblown."
They're great. So yeah, they had a Moog, so that was really funny. They would leave it on, and I would be getting up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom and forget that it was on, and everybody's quiet and asleep, and I just hear.
Yeah, as you pass.
It was a booby trap.
It's not so. It's actually. I have to admit, I bought it, but I never. I mean, I played it a little bit because I did like Eve did. I put it in. I put my Effektgerät. I'm saying it in German. Sorry, my multi-effect thing. What she has there underneath as well, and I have a Wah-wah pedal, and it was so fun to play around. But I realized, my musical abilities are not really that good. So I had a contributor, and she played it, and it was so cool. And we played it in a festival where all the metalheads were, and we really loved it because it sounded like a guitar solo through the processor, and it was really really fun. And the people liked it so much we had to repeat the song because let's play it again, and so yeah, but the honest truth, I mean, the last thing because we're talking about you, not about me, but I realized, I'm not such a good musician. I can sing a little bit, and I can look good, of course, a little bit, but that's all I can, and so I kind of focus more on singing. But as I just didn't want it to sing once we're out of the pandemic and we can have real live shows again, not just streaming concerts. I wanted to have something where that's why I got the Nordstrom, so that I have something to at least look a little bit cool on stage. Can I hit something and
Well, that's what that was our main appeal to the keyboard too, because when I'd written the first record and before we kind of collaborated, decided vibraphone was the way we wanted to go. I had like all these extra guitar parts and synth parts. And I'm like, yeah, those could be on the vibe. Those can be on the vibe. Hey, and one song, when it finally hit me, I was like, hey, can you flam? Like the drum term for hitting one note right after another. Can you flam that F sharp? You could flam a note on the vibraphone. Oh my God. And that's when it really clicked that was going to be a winner for us. But I've always thought that keyboards and electronic music can be really aggressive and really emotional and really, really cathartic, not just like chilling, but also very emotionally and energetically engaging. But you're really like just going at it and hitting these little black and white keys is not as effective as going at it with two to four mallets, just swinging them everywhere, like watching like Baroque, watch our music video for that, and Eve's just doing all this crazy cadence.
I just put Baroque, your video in my video playlist on my Discovery channel. Yeah, no, it's
awesome,
thank you. No, I mean, this is real fun for me. I talk only with people I want to talk to. So it's for me. It's as much a pleasure for me as for you. I'm really enjoying to finding like-minded people. So I was really happy that Fleischkrieg kind of put us together.
Thanks to them, and thanks to Nuda. They're who invited us. We've done shows not directly with Nuda yet, but she was in an act called Possessed Tranquility. We played together in Olympia, Washington State once, and on one of our tours, and we've been meaning to get back together ever since. Part of that crowd fund, Yeah, part of the crowdfund was the original artwork for God is a Martian, and Nuda actually got that perk. It was a pretty high dollar perk, and she got the artwork that Eve drew in Roswell, New Mexico, where
Wow.
the aliens
Area
crashed.
51.
So, a lot of energy in that piece, and we hand delivered it to her up in Washington State like 3 weeks before everything shut down. We were up in Washington visiting my brother, and yeah, we're like, oh, here you go, thank you. So yeah, that's how everything kind of tied together. That's really
synchronicity.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, this is this is the fun part for me because I have my little video podcast show where you are currently on, and I don't know. I found Thomas, Seraphim, through the radio station where I also be a radio DJ, and I was like, oh, this is cool. This is exactly my thing, and I put it in my playlist, and when I was like, oh, let's talk. As I started my video talk, my what we're doing right now, I was like, oh, let's reach out to people, and he was one of the first I talked to, you know. And then he kind of said, oh, and then this other guy, Rich is living with me here in the same house, and we met, and then I was talking with him, and then so this is how I met them online, Fleisch Creek, and I what I love is that things can, opportunities just happen if you let them happen. If you do something, this is what I really. As I told you, as I was talking with a guitar guy from Sisters of Mercy, he was like, "Oh, but your video podcast is not really that good, and it needs to be technical, be more this and that." He's absolutely right. I'm a one-man army. I just do, I don't cut anything. Like I told you in our pre-talk, that I'm not gonna do, enhance something or do some camera work and sliding in, or like we talked about your video, I could put in, if I would be more, how you say, more immersed in all this video stuff, I could put in a link directly to the video, and this is that, and click here and do that, and I'm really just recording this and put it like it is there. Anyway, the point I wanted to make is, he's right, but I'm just one person, and I do what I can do and what I love to do, but at least I'm doing it, and through doing is, I got on the world tour. I got to meet you now, and I got who knows what's going. The point is what I'm going to say with so many words. Sorry, I'm like you, paragraph Taylor. I'm talking a lot.
It's contagious, isn't it?
It's contagious, yeah. No, it's that if you do something and if you put it out, you open your heart, of course, for criticism, and people can, shout you down and whatever, but people can also find you. Oh, see, kind of, this is a good loop back, a nice segue to finding you. Exactly. So you might. I get your point. The music should talk for itself or whatever. But now that I realize I can do a little bit for you if you want me to do, because I have a radio show where I can play your songs, and
please.
I we're doing this video podcast. I can reference, and people will find it, and I also can put in. Your songs in my playlist on Spotify, so people can find it there as well. So
that would be super cool. So we have a link tree that goes from our Twitter and our Instagram, and we've hidden a hyper follow link to our next release that comes out next week on Spotify on there. So if you want it the second it comes out, go to our link tree, top link, add it to your Spotify. Boom, April 2nd.
See, you are so good in advertisement. You can do it if you put your heart into it.
Thank you. My dad was in radio, so that apple never fell from the tree.
Yeah. So I mean, honestly, that's a little bit odd for me, because you are such a visual band, and you have so much to show and range. You know, like we talked already about the video to what was it? Just you wait. That it was so good that I kind of discarded it. That it was too good. Um,
That's
so
the best review of the video we've ever had.
Yeah,
So
thank you.
good, I kind of discarded
yeah,
it.
yeah,
It's like they couldn't have done
see,
that.
take the quote, and slap it on and say, Shellshocked Radio Discovery said, too good to be from you guys. I would never see you hippies with this stuff, you know. It's too professional.
That's what I want.
Yeah. No, honestly, I mean, like I said, I thought it was a Disney movie I have not seen. Honestly, this was kind of what I was. Oh,
We
this is
wanted to
too-
make it like a really depressing Bambi. Not
Yeah, I mean,
awakening Bambi. You know what I mean? Because like it's a situation that a lot of people were just like, oh, it's just another thing on the news. Swipe past. No, that's a real deal. Like that's based on a true story. A couple deer just minding their own business in their natural habitat, and humanity came and just destroyed everything they knew since birth. And like they're like, what caused this? Oh, get to the root of a city. What is all this? Oh, that's really happening. So yes.
No, and I get it, and I get also your approach, because it's cool. You know, this is, I like punk music, but what I really dislike in punk is that you often get hit over the head with a message. You know, like, this is right and this is wrong. This is black and this is white.
Exactly.
Bam, and here, you know, you have a bam B, and you have to
we're
kind of
trying to be objectively, like, almost journalistic with our art. Be like, okay, well, here's how the world is. Like, read it and do something, or just be emotionally inspired with like the dissonance that we're reflecting back at, you know, humanity, whatever's happening. Hey, we need to like curb the global warming if we can. You know, we're trying and it's too little too late, but or, you know, it's letting people form their own opinions and feelings about things that are going on without, like, you know, trying to shove a side of it.
Exactly. And this is also what I like to, because, you know, I mean, let's face it, nobody wants to be told what to do and stuff. So, but exactly. So it's kind of yeah. I'm really. I will. You know, once we're done with our talk, I will revisit your video, and because I think now I get it even more, because yeah. Okay. Like, yeah. I will revisit it, and so where do we go next? One of the things, which is just, you know, for me, because your mask, Mr. Paragraph Taylor, looks very full enclosed. And at the moment, this is maybe perfect to go around with such a mask. But
we were doing so for like 3 or 4 years already. So when the pandemic hit, our phone blew up because it was here in Texas and people were still wanting shows. And they're like, we could do it at a drive-in, we could do it at a field, we could do it wherever. You guys are already wearing masks.
Well, the theme was that we were a post-apocalyptic band. So we were supposed to dress as if we were already prepared for it. So then when this happened, it was like, oh my goodness.
you were ahead of your time again.
What
Yeah.
is happening?
Yeah, now masks are cool. We weren't going for that. We were just like,
Now I remember
trying to
the one I wanted to say, Cassandra. You know, the Cassandra complex. You know, that you already know what's going on, but you cannot change it and stuff.
Well,
So
there's a lot of things in our show that had alluded to the future that we weren't trying to. We weren't trying to predict the future. It just kind of manifested that way, and I feel like that's also woven into the name of the band. But one of the things that we did was we would have a big bat costume.
yeah,
on
I
stage.
saw that. Looks cool.
Yeah, so, you know, when you have that tied into, you know, like with the videos with the fire and all this other stuff, then you zoom back, and now it makes sense today. You know, that the animal that would bring in this plague would be the bat, you know, at least according to the narrative. So so just like things like this, we kept paying attention to and saying, whoa, like is this the universe, like, almost, you know, fusing itself with what we're trying to say? Because what we what we want to raise awareness of is our power in our own destiny, and not just in ourselves, but as a collective. And that was the reason for our symbol. The paragraph symbol, is a pilcrow. The band symbol is a tripilcrow, because a pilcrow means the beginning of a new idea. It was invented before the slide typewriter had a slide. So when you type in the old typewriters, it would all type in blocks. So if you wanted to separate your ideas, you would have to do a paragraph symbol. And so we took that symbol and applied like a third dimension to it almost. So, okay, what would be the symbol of not just the beginning of a new idea, but the beginning of a new paradigm?
All ideas.
If everybody was to shift their ideas at once, that would be a new paradigm. So that's what that symbol, a tripilcrow, is to us. If we can elevate awareness all at once, because if awareness is only elevated in certain pockets, then what you end up having is a unequal, almost like an unbalanced intelligence ratio, and then you have people attacking each other instead of trying to help each other get to the next level.
Yep.
And
This,
I think,
this just ends in shouting
media
matches and stuff. So, sorry, go ahead. I'm being quiet.
You're actually right. Social media is both a curse and a blessing with this, because social media has the power to awaken everybody's paradigm at once. But there's so many individualized, powerful interests that are trying to pull the strings through advertisement and propaganda that it's actually hurting more than it's helping. Because it's creating more of an us versus them. It's actually dividing the masses more than combining them.
Yeah, I think, my take on this, I mean, I have a love-hate relationship with social media. You cannot get without it.
Same.
Yeah, it's kind of, I hate it. I started really late with Instagram because I still don't get Instagram, I have to admit. But I use it now extensively because for me it's easy to reach people I want to talk to. I can. In the past I did this. A while back, a few years back, I had to find the email address of a band and then email their or a telephone number and get through. It's kind of impossible to get through. And now I can reach the biggest bands and say, "Oh, hi, I like that," and sometimes we even write back. So, that's a curse, and also the curse is also what I often have as a radio DJ, that everyone can do music today. You don't need a label anymore. You don't have these gatekeepers. You can kind of, if you have some money, if you get a DAW and just record something, or even on your phone you can record things and just put it out there, and people might listen to it or find it, whatever. But this, of course, it's an explosion of things that is out there. For me, it's now sifting. I think it's sifting through an avalanche of content. So I try to be as open-minded as I can. That I just not only be in my bubble. I like gothic music and I like industrial and I like dark wave and all these stuff. But I try to be open-minded, but I cannot, because it's too much stuff out there. Sorry.
Right.
It's a sea. It's a needle and a stack of needles these days, and that's why we were like, okay, why waste energy in trying to be noticed? Just make the statement, make the art, move on, and let the art speak for itself and let it be discovered once.
Our focus is more on quality content than on advertising, because there is so much out there that I feel that if something catches, then it can serve as its own advertisement in the end. There's a lot of good videos that I discovered that way. So I understand there's an oversaturation of stuff, but it's still better than having gatekeepers, I think.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. And I got exactly your approach, because once people find you, they can really get hooked and hooked for the right reasons, not just because you made one flashy thing and a clickbaity whatever, and then there is nothing, and woof, it drizzles out, the attention span is gone, and you. So if people find you, once they find you, they see, oh, there's more to it, and there's now what we're talking, as you know, I talk with a lot of artists, and you can clearly see if there's something more behind it, or if it's fine either way. I'm not trying to judge and saying, there's only this way is good, but you have a clear message. And
sometimes everything face value is good, but if it's a really deep, layered, intricate, complex, like, system of messages, like, take care of yourself, take care of your community, tribalism, away from capitalism, like so many things we're trying to push and infer, like, yeah, it can't be face value. It's got to be layered like that, like a bite at a time, like a breadcrumb trail.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's just, I don't know how to really say it. I'm happy to have found you, but I'm a little bit sad that you're so hard to find.
Well, it's like Zen.
Yeah.
You can't find Zen in the store. The only way you can find Zen is to make the journey, and I want us to be like that.
Okay. Yeah. It's okay. Yeah.
Exactly.
And maybe as you said, with your foresights of a video and the things you maybe I'm not very spiritual, but things sometimes happen for a reason. I'm not saying that through me or through whatever, but this is people definitely will find you because I found you now, and if they go don't worry, you won't get overblown and playing in stadiums in the near future, but
Oh,
yeah.
good. I was worried about that.
Especially for you, I try to stay as a small channel, just for you, that you don't have to fear anything. No, but
well, I mean, this type of humility, I would like to remain forever. I mean, the guitarist from Sister Mercy, all due respect to him, I understand that, but like, I want to be like Elon Musk, smoking a joint with Joe Rogan for 3 hours. I want to always be approachable.
Mm-hmm.
This to me has kind of been the core of why and how we've been able to do this for so long, and this is still, like, even the amount of time we've been doing it, just the shred of the amount of time that we will do it. It's just the beginning, because we're like, there's, we want to stay human through the whole journey, but just be the beacon of light and energy that people need to come to. I think when we're meant to be found by people is when we are, and usually that's like Dimebag Darrell from Pantera said, one fan at a time, man.
Yeah, no, and I'm with you, and I want, for me it's the same. I want to be approachable and stuff, but I realize now, I have to be a little bit more strict with things, because if I I get now people send me stuff. Oh, can you put this in your playlist, and then I check it out, but I see, okay, it's rap music or hip hop, and it could be great music, but it's not my thing, and
Right.
when I don't write back, because it's kind of how like somebody puts some advertisement in your mailbox, you don't write back, oh sorry, I don't want a new washing machine, I don't so this is how I see it. I didn't ask for it, then I don't need to answer. This is how I go about it, but I'm always happy to discover new things, and I want to be found. I want I put in my playlist a link where you can contact me, but this happens now more, the bigger you get, the more it happens, it's like a snowball effect and stuff, and it's cool, but I'm more like, I can see if somebody put in some time to check you out, and this is, giving it back to you. This is, of course, what works for you, because if somebody finds you, like with the breadcrumbs, like you alluded to, it's somebody put in the time to really find you. It's not.
Yes. It's like an Easter egg hunt. It used to have a reward for the search, This would be something cool to find for clicking through one more page and not just
and you jump around like a
deciding
bunny
to buy
as
the next
well.
page.
So it's fine. I can see you're the bunny, and she's the goddess of Ostera.
Absolutely. Describe it better.
I wanted to say this. I didn't tell you this in the pre-talk, but if I ask you something but you don't want to answer, just don't answer it, and we move on because now I come. I'm happy that you can kind of do your artistic things you want to do in the way you want to do them, and that's really nice. And I like this freedom because art should be freedom. You can express yourself in any way you want, but we are living in a material world. So my question is, how do you support yourself? Because the way you take with your art is like you have other streams of income. I take it. You have other jobs.
Very many.
Okay.
Yes.
Very many.
Just as many avenues of enjoyment that manifestiv has available to enjoy. We have as many streams of income.
If you find our page on Film Freeway, which is like a collective to where you can submit your videos to film festivals.
Mm-hmm.
If you look for us on Film Freeway, on my profile it says, we don't make music videos to make money. We make money to make music videos.
that's about where it all goes.
That's pretty much like our financial structure when it comes to the band.
Absolutely.
Okay. See. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm kind of the same. I don't know if you know SubmitHub. I'm on SubmitHub, and where people can submit things to me, and on a few playlist sites where people can send me also things. Where you get, and every money I get, I put into advertisement of my playlist, So whatever I get, I reinvest basically, so that people get more plays and more visibility and stuff. Because I also like what I'm doing. For me, this is the fun part. Nobody asked me to talk with strangers over the internet, but I'm kind of I love it, because for me we are all in this together, and even if I'm not a good musician, I'm a musician as well, and so we have something to share. And the greatest thing that happened to me once, sorry, now I'm talking about myself again, is I once lived for 3 years in Budapest, in Hungary, and I couldn't speak the language, but I found a bandmate, and I could make music with her. We couldn't talk, but we could play together. And for me, this was such a great thing what can happen. Whenever I needed to talk with her, I called a friend who could speak German and Hungarian, and I told him what he should tell her, and then I gave the phone over to her. And then so this is later on we found people who could who were bilingual or trilingual even. So I could easily say them. I could tell her this and that. But it was such a thing, it's so cool. I guess you have been in jam sessions as well. When you just you don't need words. You just get there. You get the vibe of a room. You get like, oh yeah, this is rhythm, and then you just start playing and just enjoying. And sorry, I get off track again. But I remember, jam sessions where I don't remember what I played, but I was there for 3 hours and it was fun. I have no idea what we did, but it was cool. It was so.
That happened to Burning Man all the time, almost every single year.
Yeah, I really would like to go to Burning Man one day.
I feel like you would thrive there. Absolutely.
I think so too. It's just the. It's I told you I'm not such a very spiritual person, but now in this pandemic, what I really see, what I miss is kind of, if you go to a concert, and I'm very un-German, to let you know. I don't drink beer, and
Wow.
and I don't like soccer.
Wow, that is super un-German.
Yeah, I'm very un-German. My point is, as I go to these venues and I don't drink beer, what can I do? Mostly it's too loud to talk with other people. Then I
Exactly.
dance. And I like to
Exactly.
move, and I like to, I'm not saying that I'm a good mover, I'm, but I
But you're letting your body do the music.
exactly. It's
You're
kind of, I
letting your
just
body do the
enjoy
theater.
myself. It's kind of like a this communal feeling, and just uh, it's like a almost like a tribal thing, like a how you say um, this is kind of spiritual. I don't
Yes.
once in the beginning, you see me now, I'm also a little bit, oh, what people will think, and and you're a little bit shy, but once you hit the switch, and once you fuck it, I don't care what
Yeah.
other people think. Because
Exactly.
I played in other metal bands. I was a singer of a metal band, and one of the guitar guys, no, men don't dance. Metal men don't dance. And then we stand in the corner and look, yeah. He
No
missed a
way.
note. He missed a note there. Oh, he missed a beat. And I don't fucking care. I dance. And
Exactly.
I usually bring at least one or two T-shirts to the things where I go to, because when I dance, and when I
You're
sweat, and
dancing that much.
when I need to
No, that's
change.
that's very
Um,
pure. That's what it all is about and started about. And like, the beer and German culture are very interlinked. When we spent about 6 weeks there, at the end of 2018, scouting out for a tour that didn't happen last year.
mhm.
Um, we it was at the very end of our drinking times. We since quit drinking. Quinking.
We since quit thinking. This is vodka things, and I was. We since. Yeah. Okay.
Because
Sorry.
I know the beer culture in Germany is very tied, but it's like even more forcefully so here in the States. There's Bud Light billboards everywhere, just shoving it down your throat. So you go to a show, just like what you're saying, it's loud. There's just a bar. They don't serve kombucha or coffee. It's just liquor and beer. Like, what do?
Mm-hmm.
Dance your ass off and just really get into the music. When we played a festival in Austin, Texas last Saturday. It was outdoors. It was one of the first concerts to really try to do something with the pandemic, with masks, with distance and all that, and it all worked out greatly. I was a few bands before us, just really, oh my goodness, I'm here and I'm listening to live music, and there's not a bar and not beer. I just the universe is dance. What else are you doing here? But just enjoy the music. You're here to bring some music. Why don't you enjoy the music that's playing before you? And I did. They're incredible. This band called ESB, this super progressive, almost like reggae. Wow,
Mm-hmm.
they were
That's
just,
that's
dude,
that's that's a really
yeah.
good point you're making,
You don't
because
hear those two genres together very often, but they were incredible, and that's what we're supposed to do. We're not supposed to hide behind I know there's some people will call alcohol social lubricant, but it causes a lot of people to forget why we even started doing this in the first place, going to shows or playing shows, and that's why. You nail it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I have two things I wanted to say, because you got a nice point. For me, I'm if I'm at home and listening to music, I'm very specific, because I want to miss music I like, and and whatever. But if I go to a live show, you know, even if I don't like the genre, if they're good, I'm gonna dance, because
Same.
I'm not a big ska fan. I would never listen to ska music at home.
Right.
Uh, but if you have a good ska or reggae or a you can. Ah, man, that's cool. That's I like to. Yeah, it's kind of if it's good live, and we really have a good feeling or something, when yeah, I'm going for it, even if I would never listen to it. I can enjoy it, and I can from this community thing is also, you have you're worshiping your god of of music or something. It's so. This is a little bit what I miss right now, because in Germany we have very harsh restrictions and stuff. For
Oh,
people
absolutely.
getting together and stuff. So I'm jealous to hear that you had a concert, and this is kind of the adrenaline you get on stage, and this is why you do it, when you really know how to. And even Eve is more if I've Baroque, the video I saw, she's more let's say static. She's standing on
Yes.
uh,
No, she's the firm temple in the middle of the post-apocalyptic chaos of lack of visibility because the atmosphere is no longer existent. Yes, she's the pillar.
mhm.
And when I used to have a wireless, I would just go all around her everywhere. And now I limited myself to a 25-foot, whatever that is in meters. I should know that by now. Cable, because she's in every way possible, both literally and otherwise, the strength and core of the band, really.
Eve, I just saw you checking at your watch. You need to go somewhere.
Oh, I don't have a watch.
Oh,
I
you
was
don't
just
have a
looking
watch.
down.
So okay. But I can you just say something, because I need to go to the kitchen, because I asked my wife to start the dinner, and I just need to dampen it a little bit, because it seems like we're going to talk a little bit longer. So I just want to that my food doesn't get burned.
Oh yeah, don't burn your
So
food.
just tell what can you say? One question. What's always good is, can you tell maybe a funny story about some stage mishaps that happened, or when you were driving to somewhere and you got a flat tire, or you wound up after the show in the wrong area and had some nice encounters. Can you tell a story like this, and then I can I'll be brief. It's just a minute I need. So just fill the time, please.
Sure, absolutely. Well, I mean, we can tell the story about the aliens that we saw
Oh my goodness.
was it Arizona?
Yes.
Yeah.
This was in southwestern Arizona. The beginning of 2014, right after we'd formed the band, and we were on our way into Texas from California
I believe so, yeah.
with a group of also travelers.
But
They
not
were going
aliens.
from Northern California to the South by Southwest Music Festival down in Austin, where we were set to play our first show. We hadn't even built the vibraphone yet. We were traveling to Texas to collaborate with my stepfather, who has, he's a carpenter and has an array of tools. So
Well, we had a bunch of people with us because in our early days when we would tour in a big box van that was a gas guzzler.
Mm-hmm.
So what we would do is we would advertise which cities we would be stopping at and pick up rides along the way, and they would pitch in for gas. So on our way back to South by Southwest, which is, I believe, the biggest festival in Austin at that time, it takes place in the spring, we were driving back at night, and there was an orange glow in the sky. And
Okay.
it was the same color as a street lamp, one of the street lamps up.
kind of amber, a little
Like an amber
orangey
light.
yellow. Yeah.
But it was as big as the moon, and it would move. So I realized that wasn't a lamp. So I actually shouted to Paragraph, "Whoa, I think it's aliens," like just right off the bat. So we both looking, and he's, glancing up every once in a while. And now this ball has split into two, and it's kind of doing this strange motion in the air. So we decided to pull over because not even an airplane can do that. That's actually something very strange. So we got out, and the passengers that we had in the back of the truck also got out, and there was about 6 of us on the side of the road. The amber lights then split into 3, and they were moving across the sky as if there was a giant figure juggling them. And you can see their reflection on the clouds in the sky. They were huge.
They were so big, you could see cloud was kind of like grayish, and then there kind of had an orange glow by where they were at, so you could tell that they were up like almost in these two isolated clouds kind of by the moon, like trying to hide with the clouds in the moon.
Yeah, sometimes they would duck behind and go around, and you can see the light in the cloud as they would shift around in the sky. And then you could see other people pulling over. So there was all these other drivers now pulling over to see what was happening. And the funny thing was, Paragraph, at the time, there was an app called Vine. So he went to go and record them using Vine, and they started disappearing one by one. And you can hear the people in the video like, no, come back, please.
Yeah, they were definitely camera shots.
This was this was pre-TikTok.
Exactly.
I think,
when TikTok came out, it was basically hailed as the next Vine, and now it's like, that. And then some. But yeah, no, that was crazy. I kind of felt a little uneasy there for a minute, as I had been the one to ruin the spectacle for everyone, just trying to, grab a picture like a typical Earthling tourist.
And did you do a follow up or something? Did
I tried, and it's just like an orange dot that you could see failing, because it was like I just had an iPhone 5 at the time, and cameras weren't quite ready.
It didn't look very cool in the footage. It just looked like an orange light disappearing, which was unfortunate, because how it looked in the sky and how it looked in the footage, like the footage totally didn't do it justice.
There was a third element too, the feeling that you couldn't capture with the camera.
It was a feeling.
It's like a warmth, like a hug from the sky. Like if you see something that looks like a drone or a helicopter or whatever, this is uneasy, like, oh, what, human is
You could feel something's man-made when it's in the sky.
Exactly.
But this didn't feel man-made. And that's something that it's hard to convey, but that's actually what made a lot of people like pull over, because it had almost like an energetic magnetic pull to it, like it was conscious.
I see. I haven't had such an encounter, but I know exactly what you mean, that you cannot really capture things with a camera or something, because as I started to be a little bit more on Instagram, I realized I need to post pictures once in a while. And so we sometimes have a nice moon here. When I try to have it make a nice picture of a moon, and it looks when you are outside and the night is quiet and there's a moon shining over you, and so it makes you kind of it makes you feel grandeur or so, or small, but in a good way. And anyway, I never really could capture the feeling I have when I look up in the sky, So it's always a shadow of what it's really there. I mean, this is of course not comparable with what you just told me, but I realized also that pictures don't really give things justice or something, where they're just plain, or you can maybe get a hint of what the person wanted to show, but not really.
Exactly. It's almost kind of like a book. It's almost kind of like a bookmark for the taker. And I've realized this since the pandemic came. Before the pandemic, I was up social media's ass. I had screen reports on my phone telling me I was spending 6 to 9 hours a day.
Wow.
On like Facebook.
You're addicted.
But like doing band promotion stuff, but also seeking places to review our stuff. So that happened when the pandemic happened, and we kind of left civilization, got a farm, started a studio, and all this. Just we're like, okay, let's distance ourselves from everything, not just people physically. As far as just how everything was becoming online, I started taking a lot of pictures and not publishing, not doing anything. They're just on my camera roll, and they're great, but they're just a bookmark for the taker. So you can go back, see that picture, and remember what you were feeling then. Remember who you were with, what they were. And I really feel that that's kind of just like a public earmark record of like feelings stored in memory, just that only the taker knows. And then to everybody else is like, oh cool, there's a picture of Leipzig, or there's a picture of Dallas, or
that's a nice what I realized even earlier. I don't know, I bought a camera like 15 years ago, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I mean, a video camera, and I was, oh, now I can go to concerts and film things and stuff. And then I realized really that I'm not enjoying the show anymore because I was more like,
Right.
oh,
Yeah.
what's the right angle and what's this and stuff. And so I was like, oh man, I just want to enjoy the show and I cannot move around because I can break my camera and blah 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 and stuff. So
Exactly.
and I guess you have seen all the people holding up their cell phones and stuff and like, uh, who's listening to this crap? Because
Right.
if you film at a show and it's distorted audio and then
Exactly.
shaky and blah,
Exactly.
It's
and so
it's kind of like the same mentality behind filming fireworks.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, you have to enjoy exactly. But what I will as Paragraph said, I was kind of like this as I started, with I was looking. Oh, this could be a nice Instagram picture, and this could be a nice, and this could be a nice, and now I'm kind of like, I'm going for a walk. I don't take any cell phone with me. I'm gonna enjoy the nature. I'm gonna, I'm very blessed. I'm living right next to a forest, and on the other hand, there's this little stream going and a nice park. So when usually in my Mittagspause, how do you call it? In my lunch break,
Yeah.
I'm taking Mittagspause. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm taking a little stroll, and I really enjoy it, and just hanging. Oh, okay, now with the pandemic, I have more free time where I'm alone and thinking. But in normal bustling times when you are like you have to talk with so many people, then it's really nice to shut out
Man,
everything.
slowing down
Don't
like
take
that
your
after having
take.
toured basically constantly for half a decade, that was
Mhm.
very welcome.
Yeah. And there's also a park nearby where but sometimes I just take some dry bread and feed the ducks and stuff and like just thinking about nothing and you are musicians as well because for me in German we say die Muse küsst dich also this means like the muse is kissing you, and this is when you are getting creative, when you're getting into the zone
Yeah.
where you can feel, oh, now I can do something, because
Uh,
you are accomplished musician as well, so I know you could sit down and just write a song, but if you are inspired, there will be a really good song. This is not
exactly.
just
If you
putting
sit down
okay.
to write a song, it's hardly comes to you. But if it's coming to you, usually they'll come to me on my way to doing something else. Most great songs will basically make me late for something else
Yeah,
because I'm
yeah.
on the way to doing something,
Yeah.
and then bam, here's this idea. We have a song called "The Curve." Right now, there's a video for it on YouTube. That's footage of the three cities that uh, intersect for us the most, being completely empty after the pandemic, empty downtowns. So Dallas, where we met, Los Angeles, where we both cut our teeth as teenagers as musicians, and then San Francisco, where we formed the band and married and started years of tour,
Hmm.
all completely empty. And that song was written having a session set up for another song that I'd already predetermined and written years ago and flushed out. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to finally track a demo for this so we could all learn it with manifestiv instrumentation. And then lo and behold, this other song just like almost like a regurgitation, like an involuntary, like, there it
Hmm.
is.
Hmm.
Was just there all in one take, one or two takes. And it's just like, it's sometimes they're just given to you by the universe
Exactly,
almost.
exactly, and this is the best songs you can have because when, like I said, you can sit down and there's a chorus and or intro and verse, chorus. You can go through the schematic things. You know exactly how to do it. But if things just happen, I can tell a story. It happened to me when I was so when I started making music, I was so full of it, and I was it was all coming together, and I did one song in one night, and then
Oh yeah.
here comes the kicker, and I had a vocal melody in my head for it, but I didn't had any lyrics, so. I kind of sang just like
Yeah.
mumbling, And the problem is, I never hit it like this again. So what I had to do, I had to reverse engineer the mumbling to something coherent that I could sing it later to the song, because it was one night, it just inspired, and I never got into the feeling again I had there singing it. Anyway, I kind of re-engineered lyrics to it, which never happened to the song, and it was. Yeah, but this
No,
is
I do that often as well. The melody will come way before the lyrics, so I'll just kind of shape the melody together, and then we shape the words together. Usually, Just Wait, Fib Not. Those are two examples off of God Is a Martian I could think of that were like that. To where just that's cool. Okay, what are we gonna say with that? What words can we make sound natural? Like just let them kind of happen and keep it really simple and trim off the fat. Have a really potent, brief, easy to understand by anyone message. Yeah, no, that happens all the time. Melody first, lyrics second. Yeah. Or sometimes like this new one we're dropping in a week and a half now. Instrumental. It's just 4 songs instrumental because there are reactions to the pandemic, and I mean, if you want to get literal, there are no words. To us having been like, hey, warning a bat, hey, warning masks, hey, no, this is just fun. Oh whoa, oops. Like, we didn't want to be that right. So there are no words. Sometimes it depends.
Yeah, no, I think so too. It's also it takes a special kind of talent to make a song work without vice versa. It's much easier to have a mediocre song, and you can kind of enhance it with some vocals and stuff. You don't need to put in too much effort. If you know 4 chords, just take a acoustic guitar, and you have a song, and everyone will love it. But to make a good song without any singing or lyrics, it's much harder. Sometimes the prog rockers, they go overboard. When it's like too much going on and changing and showing off too much. I can look what I can play, and that's a little bit too much.
Keep it about the song, not about the musician.
Exactly. This is exactly my approach too. If it benefits the song, yes, do it. Make a solo, make a 5-minute solo. If it really fits into the song, if it feels right, but not
That's
just for showing off.
approach it.
Oh, look what I can do, and I'm the best and stuff.
That's exactly how the other two came in, the bassist and drummer, Kevin and Ryan A, respectively, who again we've all known for years, and they were really astoundingly respectful when they came in, because they're like, we love what you guys have. You've done 130 dates across the planet together, and you're letting us join this thing to help you double it in the size and look and sound as big as it feels. How do we not mess that up? And we're just just do what you do. And they're like, you mean just play for the song? Yes, whatever the song's calling for, and always think less is more. That's a huge.
Yeah, manifestiv is a very democratic band.
Yes, hugely. We're all just sacrificing ourselves to music.
Yeah, we don't. There's no. The song is the leader.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is how it should be. Honestly, this is because when it's kind of. The good thing, I mean, you need to have your ego in check, But if you let the song take over, then there is no. I mean, in music anyway, or in art anyway, there is no right or wrong. There's just something you want to do, and of course your musical abilities. I mean, you need to have a basic understanding of a rhythm and a beat, and if you're always off, sorry, I'm talking about too much about my. But it was very funny. I lived in Montreal for 2 years, and I joined. A gospel choir there, because I like to sing, but I'm a German, I'm a German, and I realized, and there was a lot of, what's the you know, coming from African cultures, a lot of people of with, and
Oh
we were like,
wow.
oh, dancing and shouting and singing and clapping, and I realized I can either sing correct or I can clap in time. I cannot do both. I was like, hallelujah. So, I mean, I loosened up, and it took me a while to get, you know, because we were dancing and singing and clapping in the right time, and I thought, you know, I'm a musician, I can do that, but it was really like, it
It's
took
a it's a third coordination. I mean, we found out with Eve singing and
it
playing
took me a bit.
vibraphone at the same time. We're like, okay, that's
It's very hard to sing and play at the same time.
so this
I figure,
artist
yeah.
Yes.
from Oakland, California, he's incredible. Have to give him a shout out because he's a pioneer. His name is Reptoid, Reptoid. He's a one-man band, electronic, and he not only builds all his own drum shells, like acoustically, but he builds his own pedals and he builds his own drum triggers and his own mic mask that he also built one for Eve. It's just a 3M gas mask with, instead of the breathing apparatus, it's all taken out. And then, yeah, she'll go find it. It's got a Shure SM58 card installed inside of it. So it's hardwired. So it just has an XLR female.
Yeah, I was watching one of your videos and I could hear
Yes.
someone singing, and but I could not see. I was like, okay, this must come from a recording because so she was
No,
singing.
she's got a
Because
mic
yeah,
mask.
she has
She's
a
got
mask
it.
on, and
So Reptoid made this for her.
I see. Okay, cool.
It's got the whole shindig, and then here might be able to see. That's just the SM58 cartridge that's right in there.
Okay.
So taken out straight out from a microphone, it's wired straight out, and then just XLR. And yeah, the Reptoid, check him out. He helped make that a little easier for Eve because she was finding out singing and playing at the same time, like what you're talking about with the gospel. Like she would have to keep planted or plant her mouth because with the vibraphone you got to move to get your notes, right?
Yep.
So
exactly.
yeah, it's its own thing. And then me, especially singing and playing guitar, I've really tried to kind of separate the two now because I do go wild, but once I do, my physiology throws my lungs out of tune. And I've learned quite a few shows listening back enough times. It's like, okay, be the Zen, meditative, maskless, singing at the first part of the set, middle part of the set, put the mask on, go ape shit. It doesn't
Go
matter
crazy,
because we're
yeah.
not singing anymore. So it's taken us quite a bit of time to be able to realize that. So, man, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think we could go on forever, but I realized you know, I'm getting hungry, and
Awesome. Well, yeah.
so
We're gonna do some farm tending, but this has been magical.
yeah, I mean, and we you know, I'm really thinking we could go on for a while, but what starting now is revisit people, you know, who I really like to talk again, and I think you know, maybe in a year or so the pandemic will maybe even better we meet in Germany because you know.
Way fun.
You could be, you know, the Wave Gothic Treffen would be perfect for you. I mean, you would fit in there like I mean, and Leipzig is right next to me. You know, Leipzig is a stone throw, you could almost say. So I would really like to see you there. Have you been there at the Wave Gothic Treffen?
Yes. Tell them the story about not Wave Gossip Treffen, but the.
Oh yeah, so we've never been to Wave Gothic Treffen, but we have been to Leipzig, and there was a I think a singer-songwriter session in one of the clubs there. I don't remember the name of the club, but we showed up, and I think they were accepting like people walking off the street to join. It's kind of like a jam session, but what we didn't realize was it was a very specific type of genre. So when when he got on stage, he was starting to play things like "Smells Like Teen Spirit" by Nirvana and things like that. And so what ended up happening was half the audience just got up and left. And all the people that remained, you can tell, were just like fans of like, Marilyn Manson or Nirvana and things like that. So that was really shocking, and I think that was a huge lesson in context for us. Just like, okay, just because the music's good doesn't mean it's going to be great in every situation.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you have to read the crowd a little bit. I can kind of picture. Anyway. Might happen. But on the other hand, you don't need to please everyone. Just be authentic and do the music you like. So and it's like it sounds like an
the
open
people
mic.
who remained definitely enjoyed it.
Okay, yeah. It sounds like an open mic night or something. Yeah. Anyway, okay. I will stop now because I think we can go on and on and on. Thank you very much for your time. I really enjoyed it. I will link to all the stuff we talked about in the description of this, and this will become a podcast anyway later. So it will be on iTunes and Spotify and other things, Google, so that all the big corporations can find you, and the algorithm's gonna know about the manifest. And I don't know. Let's see what's gonna happen. So thank you very much for your time. I really enjoyed our talk, and we definitely will do it again whenever something new is coming out, or anyway, when you are in. We're repeating ourselves. Sorry.
Okay.
Just one thing. Any last words to the audience you want to share with them? Anything? Yeah, I would like to give you the last word for this talk.
Yeah, I want to make a big shout out to everyone who supported us here in the U.S. and abroad. I want a big thank you to everybody who donated to the Just Wait video. We really appreciate that, and we literally could not have done it without y'all.
Thank you. Thanks to everybody who just crosses our path in the universe. That's huge. It's a big place. And,
yeah, and but this is what I really love, and if you really think about it, some musicians are very competitive and kind of elbowing, and if you're successful, I don't really care. I love that other people can be successful, so it's good. Be happy for them, and I don't know. I don't get this competition thing. Do what you love to do, and if you are more successful, what is success anyway? You have some cool videos out, and you have such a good video out that I even kind of thought, what I told you all this before. So and so this is a success. This is great. So you don't need any numbers. So if I have hit this number, then I will be successful, and then I will be an internet sensation or something. Everyone you touch at a show, and you really get anyway. I think we agree on this thing. Thank you very much for your time. It was a very successful talk, and and we will definitely do it again. So I say good night or a good day, and bis bald. Gute Nacht, genau, guten Abend. Bis bald. Tschüss.